Hi, everybody. My name is Skylar McKay, and I want to go over the topic of marrying. So it's real interesting. So good negotiators know they have to be ready for possible surprises, right, during the negotiation process. Great negotiators actually can use their skills to uncover surprises during the negotiation process. And one of the techniques that you can use is marrying to uncover these surprises and build rapport with the other side. Now, it's actually quite insane. So the FBI teaches this as one of the techniques, and this is one of the topics covered in Chris Voss's book, Never Split the Difference. And remember, he was a former top hostage FBI top FBI hostage negotiator. All right, work with me here. Now, the technique is so simple, it is scary. Now, I want to start with this first. So I want to read this. It's a quick couple paragraphs in the book, but I think this will really help kind of bring this to light for you. So mirroring is also isopractism is essentially imitation. It's another neurobehavior humans and other animals display in which we copy each other to comfort each other. It can be done with speech patterns, body language, vocabulary, tempo, and tone of voice. It's generally an unconscious behavior. We are rarely aware of it when it's happening, but it's a sign that people are bonding in sync and establishing the kind of rapport that leads to trust. Okay, leads to trust. It's a phenomenon in now technique that follows a very basic but profound biological principle. We fear what's different and are drawn to what's similar. As the saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. Mirroring, then, when practiced consciously, is the art of insinuating similarity. Trust me, a mirror signals to another's unconscious, you and I were alike. Once you're attuned to the dynamic, you'll see it everywhere. Couples walking on the street with their steps in perfect synchrony, friends in conversation at a park, both nodding their heads and crossing their legs about at the same time. These people are in word connected. While marrying is most often associated with forms of nonverbal communication, especially body language, as negotiators, a mirror focuses on the words and nothing else, not the body language, not the accent, not the tone or delivery, just the words. It's almost laughably simple. For the FBI, a mirror is when you repeat the last three words or the critical 1, 2, 3 words of what someone has just said. Of the entirety of the FBI's hostage negotiation skill set, marrying is the closest one that gets to a Jedi mind trick. Simple and yet uncannily effective. By repeating back what people say, you trigger this mirroring in instinct, and your counterpart will inevitably elaborate on what was just said and sustain the process of connecting. Psychologist Richard Wiseman created a study using waiters to identify what was the more effective method of creating a connection with strangers, mirroring or positive reinforcement. All right, so that should explain a lot right there, right? That how incredible is that? So I want to also go over a scenario of this, and then I'm going to give you some real examples. So this is a scenario out of Chris Voss' book. This is an actual scenario that he dealt with during a hostage negotiation scene, right? So I'm going to start here. This is a little role playing, so bear with me here. We've identified every car on the street and talked to all the owners except one, I said to Watts. Watts was a guy that just held up a bank, okay? We've got a van out here, a blue and gray van. We've been able to get a handle on the owners of all the vehicles except this one in particular. Do you know anything about it? The other vehicles not out there because you guys chased my driver away, he blurted. That's the guy that's holding up the bank, right? Um, and then here's Chris Watts. We chased your driver away? I married. So basically he was marrying what the bank robber just said, right? Now the bank robber, well, when he seen the police, he cut. We don't know anything about this guy. Is he the one who was driving the van? And that was Chris Voss. The marriage continued between me and Watts, and he made a series of damaging admissions. He started vomiting information, as we now refer to in my consulting business. He talked about an accomplice, which we had no knowledge of at the time. That exchange helped us nail the driver of the getaway car. Boom. All right. So here's some real examples. I mean, you should get the point after all that. If you don't, more than happy to meet with you on the side and give you some more examples. But here's a situation. Customer budget is tight right now. You tight right now. And you got to remember the voice inflection is extremely important with this, or else it sounds totally or unorganic. If you don't use proper voice inflection and slow down, use the what Chris Voss says, the late night FM DJ voice. You want to sound suave, you want to sound smooth, aesthetic. So um you want to get them to emotionally relate with you and uncover new information that you can use during your consult to further the chance of closing. I hope that makes sense. So here, I want to give you more examples so this really drills in deep with you. So a situation could be a customer giving you a price rejection, right? So, this is just insanely expensive. I don't want to pay that much at the moment. You don't want to pay that much at the moment? That's a good example there, right? Here, let's give you some more. Um, you know what? I have resources to where I can get better results. You can get, you have resources, you can get better results. It's so simple, it's insane, right? But when you mirror somebody, you're getting them to, relate with you and give you new information that you can leverage, and that's critical in negotiation. So, really hope this helps. So the video was a little longer than I wanted, but I really needed to make sure I got the point across. So stay in tune. I'm gonna use in my next video. I'm gonna go over labeling, which is that's my favorite technique there. So I'm really excited to go over that. So stay tuned, please, and like, subscribe, and let me know what you think.